I'm gonna, do I leave? This one's on. Do you want her to take this one? Yes or no? Hello? All right,
Hello.
I'm here.
There we go.
It's, we're way late. We're way late. What time does this 7 o'clock gig start?
Recovery doesn't start tomorrow.
It starts at 7:01.
Recovery starts right now. And here to help is Rated R for Recovery.
Keep it up. All right, welcome everybody to another edition of Rated R for Recovery. RatedRforRecovery.com. That's Rated R, the number 4, recovery.com. This segment of the show brought to you by JCI Solutions, painting contractors for residential and commercial needs. Call Mike at 239-672-2673. I'm an addict and alcoholic. My name's John.
Hey, John. I'm Joy. I'm an alcoholic. Welcome
Hello,
to the
Joy.
show.
Hello, Joy. Yeah, welcome everybody to the show. We are it's a recovery-based show is what we do. Faith-driven, bringing hope, healing, and restoration to individuals and their families impacted by addiction or other forms of recovery, Joy.
Amen.
Amen to that. So you can hear us every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. You can come and be part of our studio audience at 2415 Grand Avenue. We have next week, I believe next week we'll have the reissue of the t-shirts.
Oh,
So we have new t-shirts.
get that Rated R t-shirt.
So you get your Rated R for Recovery t-shirt right here in this building. Tell your friends. Our goal is to touch as many lives and as many people as possible. And this building holds quite a number of people. So you can bring everybody. Bring the family and come on down.
Come on down.
Our first guest goes by Catflow. That would be your handle, I guess. Is that what you call it? Is that what you young people call it?
That's just what I go by.
Okay. So
I've
welcome
branded
Cat
that.
to the show anyway. Can I
Yeah.
can I call you Cat or Cat? Should you want me to refer to you as Catflow or Cat?
No, you can call me Cat. It's okay.
Oh, okay. So Cat, tell us what you have overcome.
So I've actually overcome a lot, but the reason why John brought me on here was because I've overcame domestic violence in a relationship that was over 3 years long.
Over 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that relationship start?
It's kind of started as like a friendship and then morphed its way into a manipulation.
But it started out. Go ahead, Joy.
When you start out as friends, and then when did you notice it might be a manipulation for the first time?
The first time I really opened my eyes and saw it for what it was when he didn't, in the economy that we're in, it's hard to find somewhere to live and not have to pay like an extreme amount of money. Well, he was in a situation and kind of instead of going to me, I guess that he went to my dad and had a conversation about it or something along those lines. And then him and my dad had a conversation without me. And then they decided that he was going to live with us. And I was like, that wasn't even a conversation. That wasn't even a conversation with me. I didn't even know that this was going to happen.
And so then what?
And then
So he moved in.
Mm-hmm. He moved in and stuff just continued to get like worse and worse.
As far as?
At first it started being more of like telling me what to do, telling me I couldn't, go and do things, or he had a stick shift car, so he would take my car so that I couldn't go anywhere when he would go somewhere overnight or do things like that. But then it started getting more verbal, and then it got physical. But it was gradual. It wasn't all, like, the whole 3 years wasn't, like, physically abusive. Like, don't misconstrue that.
It progresses, right?
Yeah, it progresses. It comes in levels. So, like, for me, as the person that I am, like, I kind of, like, match people's energy, you know what I mean? So when we were just friends, like I wasn't gonna be pressuring him to like ask him what he's doing, where he's going, you know, who he's with. Like I don't care. Like own
You're
my own
friends.
business. Yeah,
Yeah.
like and I own my own business. Like I don't try to like be too immersed in what other people do because I have to stay focused. And then it got to a point where it was like, you know, what are you doing? Why are you there? Who are you with? And even with like female friends, he would make it something that it wasn't. And like then I would start to feel awkward around them because he would make it seem like I was doing, you know, something with them. And I'd be like, they don't even like me like that. And then he would be like, no, you see how they do this or they do that.
And then what did you tell yourself when, you know, so something like that happens or it gets kind of too close up to you, then what do you tell yourself afterwards that it's still going to be okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so like I went through a lot of different processes in my mind because of honestly how I grew up. You know, like my parents don't have the best relationship. They, you know, they got divorced. I never really personally saw, you know, a quote unquote what a healthy relationship was other than on, you know, like movies and stuff like that. And that stuff isn't even real. So like at the end of the day, when somebody does something wrong, like how I grew up and like was told like you forgive like the people that you care about and you forgive like it doesn't matter what they do, you forgive them. And I had to learn that that's not the case. Like if somebody continuously does something wrong to you and you know
Do
like
they apologize?
they can.
I
They
mean-
you know they apologize, but the actual sincerity of it and meaning behind it isn't always there. And if they continue to do it, that's a repetition. That's not
Right.
a mistake.
Was it the typical thing that from the outside, by the way, I think it's great that you can express yourself, and Joy, you would probably be better equipped to do this than me, not because of your experience, just the fact you're a woman.
Well, I was in a relationship like that.
Oh,
once.
that's right, too. I forgot about that. So, but my question is it one of these things where the man does something and hurts you, and then all of a sudden says, "Oh, hon, I'm very sorry. It'll never happen again. Never happen again," and you forgive them and you move on, and it goes okay for a week, 10 days, and then it happens again. Was that the case with you?
Sometimes, yeah, but sometimes it would just happen, you know, literally a few hours later.
And
It all
then-
depends.
And then everything is supposed to be normal, like right afterwards.
Yeah.
Now, you were living with your father at the time. Is this correct?
At that time, yes, and I was.
What
I
did Dad have to? Was Dad witness to this? Like, were you a daddy's little girl type of thing? Was he very protective of you?
No, that's another thing. So like, even to this day, like, if I had kids and like my kid came to me and something like that happened, like,
Yes.
excuse me, but I would have either put them in jail or I would have hurt them.
Beat them.
Excuse me, you
Bricks
know,
off of
like,
the person.
and that's just how I am. But certain things have happened to me, you know, like in my past that like I would have thought that my dad would have, you know, like either felt some type of way towards or would have defended me, and he didn't.
Yes.
So then that's where I started to go to therapy and realize that a
Nice.
lot of that issue is a part of my, you know, upbringing. It's my dad not being the provider, the protector that he should be, and I never experienced any of like that type of relationship. I didn't know what that was like.
So when you went to therapy, did your partner know you were in therapy?
No, I went to therapy after.
And I just want to say that you can go to therapy now if your partner is not aware. There are so many things you can do online that you don't have to leave the house if you have access to a phone, the internet.
Free help too.
Because some people will take control of your actions, like you can't go anywhere because he's got the car, but there are other ways to reach out for help.
How bad did the abuse get?
The point that got really bad was the end. That's when like it got very, very physical.
You're
like
tiny.
I know. I am tiny. That's the thing. I have scars and everything. He sliced my foot completely open, and like he grabbed me by my neck and bashed my head against, like, my dad made a bed frame for me, and he bashed my head against that. Like, I've never in my life like seen stars. Like, I played sports, like I've like gone in fights and stuff like that. I've never seen stars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw stars. Like, I thought I was gonna die. I really did.
And then what happened? What happened like then? So he's doing this and you think you're going to die, then what happened?
So when all that was happening, there was so many things going through my head, and whenever he did stuff like that to me, like when he would hurt me, if he saw blood, that's when he would switch. Like all of a sudden,
Really?
what's wrong? Are you okay? And I'd be like, you just did that. Like you just did that to me. Like what are you talking about? Are you okay? So when that happened that night, the reason why that happened was because I had gone through all of that, and I ended up moving out of my family's house, having to pay money to, get out of there.
And he
where
stayed
did
there?
he go with
No,
you?
he came with me.
Yeah.
And then I got, I linked him up with somebody to get him a facility for his dog trading classes. And I was doing all these things for him. And I went out of town to go see my family. I went to Ohio. And when I was in Ohio, like, I didn't really talk to him that much. And I thought it was weird. And I had cameras at the house, like outside, that he didn't, not that he didn't know about, but like, that he obviously didn't think I was going to be looking at when I
Right.
was at, on vacation. Well, he said he was taking care of my cats. He wasn't taking care of my cats. He was gone. Like, he wasn't there. I found out he was with, like, this girl that he so-called claimed was his, like, lesbian best friend that,
Right.
he didn't do anything with. But then that night, the reason why we got into the argument that we got into was because I finally, like, I don't like to go through people's stuff. I don't like doing that.
Right.
But I got to a point where I was like, I just need to see it for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know, like, for myself.
Not that there needs to be a reason,
Right.
but
But I needed to know for me so that I can just leave. Like, I can dead it. Like, I don't, like I can have, like, I could take a picture of it. I could see that anytime, like, if I wanted to go back to him or anything like that, it would be a reason for me.
I see.
Isn't it typical behavior? Now, I'm asking the two of you, not that I would know, that when you start saying, oh, you were doing this, the person reverses it on you
Oh, yeah.
and tries to make you
Yeah, but
think
what
you're
about you?
nuts.
Uh-huh.
And that's, oh, you're just imagining things. Did
Yeah.
he do that route with you?
Yeah.
So-
It would always revert it to me, but the reason why we had gotten into that specific argument was because that was something that I said at the beginning of the relationship. Like, I had met this girl, and he had me in her face, and I, like, always said, like, are you sure you don't, like her? Or are you sure you guys didn't have, like, a relationship before? And, like, I should have taken it, from my gut, like, knowing that
Yeah.
I felt some type of way. And there was messages, like this whole time this guy was with me, like, he never said he loved me. He never, like, showed me that he, like, really, really cared for me. He was telling this girl that he loved her, like, all this stuff. And I was like,
That must have been.
And again,
I was appalled because, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, I did all this stuff for him, so, like, he should have loved me. But, like, at the same time, like, if you didn't like me like that, then why did you use me? Like, that's how I felt. Like, there was
Exactly.
absolutely no reason for you to have me, like, get you a facility, move out of my parents' house, do all these things so that we can live a life together. When I asked you, like, it wasn't just like, oh, I got a house, oh, I got you a facility. No, it was a conversation. Hey, I'm just making sure, like, we're on the same page. Like, I'm going to look for a house, like, we're going to move out. Are you sure you want to, like, still be with me, like, type thing.
So is that typical behavior too? He used her as he saw that he could get a house. He saw that he could get whatever she had to offer and just went along for the ride until the ride ended,
yeah.
so to speak. Is that your experience too, Joy? Were you?
No, my experience was I fell in love, and we were in love, and I met him in a band, and everything was wonderful, but I don't know if drinking had everything to do with it, but I could see it every time, finances or my ability to leave. And so I left, and we tried. We were been married almost a year, and we tried to get back together, and finally he said, you're just not going to let go of this, are you? And I was like, you know what? I'm not. I'm sorry, that's a deal breaker for me. And the people that stay, I think, feel that they cannot leave and that there's nowhere to go. And some people will put you in that situation where
Yeah.
you think, or they'll tell you, if you leave me, I'm going to kill you. And when you've been beaten, you believe that, yes, they will.
So was that scenario you're describing where you found out that he wasn't faithful, he wasn't honest, was that the last straw for you, or was that not it yet?
No, because I don't look at relationships like that, and that's a whole conversation for another time. But, like, I just want somebody to be honest with me.
Sure.
Like, don't do stuff like that, and then, like, me having to go to the doctor because you're dirty. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, don't do stuff like that. Like, I don't care what you do. in your own private time, but don't be lying to me. Like, I'm not one of those people that's gonna be crazy, oh, you can't do this with this person. I don't care. I'm busy. I do a lot. I work a lot. But don't lie. Don't be doing stuff that's nasty. Don't, like,
And
there's
those are both-
boundaries. There's boundaries, and people that are narcissists, they don't like that.
No, they don't.
People, they don't want to separate that. Like, they want to be able to do whatever they want at all times, and then also have access to everything that you have, but don't want to give you any access to their emotions, their physical, what they do.
What yours is mine, and what's mine is mine, and
Mm-hmm.
and so when you felt it was time to leave, was it easy to do?
No, it was almost a year and a half of me like, okay, I need to leave. Okay, I don't think we should be together. Like, I kept telling him, like, I don't think that you like me. I don't think that you really like care for me like this. Like, no, I do. Like, and it was always like some type of mind game. But one of the like very first like eye openers to me that like I knew that it wasn't gonna like really work was one time I went over to his parents' house, and like I've had trauma with meeting parents before because certain people look at me a certain type of way because of my tattoos and
Oh, sure.
and who I am and what I do for work and stuff like that. And his dad looked at me, and he looked at his son, and he looked back at me, and he looked at him, and he said, "Who is this, your manager?" And I took it offensively.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, I looked back at it, and he was actually trying to warn me and be like, "You're too good for him. Like, you shouldn't, like, this isn't somebody that's, like, on the same level as you. Like, this is somebody that's obviously, like, smarter than you, or somebody that
Well,
could push
good.
you in a good position."
So how did it end?
Yeah.
How did it end?
Exactly.
It was what I was telling her about, that very last situation where he had told me multiple times that this girl was his friend,
Yeah.
and I didn't need to worry about it. And I went on his phone, saw that he
Saw
was
that.
saying that I love you forever, like all this crazy stuff. I was like, excuse me? Like, so I tried to wake him up and have a conversation about it. He lost it. He grabbed me by my throat, and he pushed me up against like this mirror that I had in our room. And I just like, in the moment, like, you know how you want to like get out of something, I pushed back with my foot. So like technically I made that happen on my foot, but like him grabbing, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
you didn't make it happen.
right.
You said it all. You are not guilty. Now
No.
let's focus on. We're going to go for that for the sake of time. You have a very successful life now, don't
Mm-hmm.
you? Tell the audience, tell the people at home and the people here at the audience what you do.
I do content creation for local businesses. I am in film. I've been in a few local series and short films. I do marketing. I do a bunch of stuff. I graduated with 3 degrees. I help kids that are on the spectrum or have behavioral issues communicate more effectively through art, music, and writing. And I just like to help the community, honestly. Like, that's what makes me happy. Like, that's what put a smile on my face.
That's
so.
awesome.
And she's also involved with our next guest.
Oh, she is, very much so. You are absolutely right, Joy. But first, before we go to that spot, give us contact information for the people at home. You have a website.
Yes, I do. It's catflowcreations.com. You can find me on all platforms, Catflow, or The Real Catflow. And if you need anything, you can always contact me at 239-834-7625.
And so if someone is willing to maybe get in touch with you about this history that we're talking about, would that be okay for them too?
Oh, yeah. I talk to people about stuff like this all the time.
Very good, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, give Kat a nice round of applause. Great job. When we come back, we're going to hear from Derek and the City Takers organization. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery at ratedrforrecovery.com.
Thank you so much.
We're here to guide you to a brighter tomorrow. Whether it's counseling, recovery support, or simply finding hope, we provide the tools and community to help you rise. Take the first step toward healing today. Visit thenextstep.org and discover how we can support your journey to wellness. Remember, every step forward is a step toward a better you. The next step, your path to hope, starts here. With offices in Fort Myers and Naples, 844-639-8371.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, attorney at law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, attorney at law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254.
Not everyone has the luck of the Irish. If a friend or family member is in trouble, call Shamrock Bell Bonds. Put our number into your phone, 239-332-2245, 239-332-2245, or go online at gobailmeout.com. Shamrock Bell Bonds provides fast, reliable service. Shamrock Bell Bonds, 1528 Broadway, downtown Fort Myers. Look for the Shamrock, and maybe luck will be on your side.
Hello, I'm Michael Manzi, owner of JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673. When starting this company 3 years ago, I had no clue that we would grow to what we have become. There is one thing I can say that we have done from the beginning is take pride in our work, making sure every customer we do work for is satisfied from beginning to end. Offering residential painting all the way to commercial painting with jobs done in a timely manner, with highly skilled professionals giving you top-of-the-line work. To help you create your new look, call JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673.
Struggling with addiction? You're not alone. At Phoenix House Project, we believe in second chances and brighter tomorrows. Our proven programs offer support, hope, and tools to rebuild your life. With expert care and a community that understands, transformation starts here. It's time to rise, reclaim your life, and become the best version of yourself. Visit phoenixhouseproject.squarespace.com today or call 239-244-7876. The journey to recovery begins with sober living. Phoenix House Project, where hope takes flight.
Kimmy's Recovery Zone, where hope meets action. We're here to guide the journey from treatment to thriving, healthy living. With peer support, public education, and vital resources like housing, employment, and Narcan training, we're building stronger communities. Ready to make an impact? Together, we're creating a network of recovery, resilience, and renewed lives. Kimmy's Recovery Zone, your hub for healing and hope. Visit us online today at kimmysrecoveryzone.org. It's not how we survive, it's how we thrive.
Join us for connection, encouragement, and real transformation. At Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church, we celebrate God's healing power through the 12 steps of recovery and the life-changing principles found in the Beatitudes. Whether you're overcoming a hurt, habit, or hang-up, Celebrate Recovery offers a safe and supportive community where you can grow, heal, and thrive. Add to your recovery because you're not alone, and healing is possible. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at one of the 3 Grace Church locations. Learn more at egracechurch.com/recovery.
When children have to play inside so they don't disappear.
Welcome back to Rated R for Recovery.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Rated R for Recovery, ratedrforrecovery.com. Everybody, we encourage you to like us on the Facebook, share us with your friends. Every Monday, there'll be a post somewhere that tells
Facebook for sure.
Yeah, that says who's going to be on the show that week, and if you can like that and share it with your friends, we'd like to. Also, if you can't be part of the studio audience, watch us on YouTube.
All right. What if you want to be on the show?
Then you contact Joy.
Oh.
All right, so this portion of the show is brought to you by Brian Edwards, attorney at law. Brian Edwards is a criminal defense attorney. Not that any of us need that. Never. Okay.
I know him.
Brian can be reached at 239-791-9463. And this is what we call the Kimmy's Zone, Kimmy's Recovery Zone segment. And please welcome Derek to the show, everybody. Derek, talk right into the microphone and tell people the organization you're representing.
Yes, it's called City Takers Southwest Florida.
And what is City Takers?
City Takers is a faith-based missions hub for churches. When it comes to the community, the church is for the community, but many times there's a disconnect, or there can be a disconnect from from the standpoint of there's a lot of people nowadays, they won't step foot in a church.
Yeah.
So how do you bridge that gap? How do you go and make people who would never come to church a part of something that we all know, which we call the Lord's work? So how do you go from, how do you bridge the gap? So City Takers, we're a missions-based hub. We do inner city missions work in the community designed to bridge the gap.
Give us a little bit of your background, your personal background.
Sure. That's a loaded question.
I know.
Okay.
Well, I'm ready
We like
for
those.
it. Can't be any worse than mine.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm born and raised Southwest Florida, right here in Fort Myers. A few years ago, I'd say back in 2012, my life was a mess. Life was not good. I was fresh off my second divorce. And me personally, I was raised in the church. I had a relationship with God, but life was a mess. And, many people say like, oh, once you meet Jesus and once you become born again, life gets better.
Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah. And it's not automatic.
Sure not.
So having said that, I realized that where I was in life, with life being the way it was, I had to build in my relationship with the Lord. So I asked him, I said, Lord, what about this? Why is my life so messy? And from that standpoint, he began to show me that even though I was born again, even though I was a Christian, I wasn't living by biblical principles.
So
I wasn't living according to his instructions. I was living life according to my own way.
Gotcha.
And that's what,
And then something has to change. And it's usually us.
it is us.
So how did you connect yourself with City Takers?
Yes. Well, once I started to live life according to God's instructions and I became a disciple and I really began to follow the Lord, life got better. And life got better. And life got much better.
Okay.
And as life began to get better, I began to make a connection. God is smarter than me. Because many times, people are living and making decisions, but it's not according to God's instructions. So as I began to follow his instructions, life really began to improve. Well, having said that, the Lord began to show me, now do you see how your life began to improve and progress? You need to show others how to do that as well. Because there's many families, there's many people in our communities whose lives are broken. Life is a mess. Life
Absolutely.
is hard.
And does that mean also that you had to listen to another person here on earth
I did.
and run things by them?
I did. I had, for me, I actually wasn't, the church I was attending was in Sarasota at the time. So I had to actually break away from, how sometimes when you're in an environment, that environment can consume you if you don't get out of it in certain ways. So I had to leave my environment and be discipled in Sarasota. I was still living here, but I would drive to Sarasota, and that's where I began my discipleship journey, and that's when I really began to make some changes.
Yeah. What is the biggest change?
The Bible is my authority.
Okay.
The Word of God is my authority. I live life according to His Word. That's
And
the biggest
you know
thing.
what? I was told a long time ago that the acronym for Bible, B-I-B-L-E, basic instruction before leaving Earth.
Yes.
Just saying. Anyway, so how did you connect with the City Takers organization? Did that start in Sarasota?
No. Oh, that's
No.
the question you asked.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So back to the
All
question.
right.
Yeah.
When the Lord showed me that you need to begin to show other people what I have shown you, I started a small Bible study group with some of the members in the back there. And when we started a small Bible study group, we were in Jed Park in North Fort Myers for a very long time. We would just go every Tuesday night. We would meet up.
Outdoors?
Yes,
Nice.
outdoors. And we would go to the park and we'd break open the Word of God and we'd read it. And we did this consistently for about over 2 years. Well, as we began to grow in the Lord began to show us that there was more. And basically, a long story short, when He began to show us that there was more, He said, you need to do more. He said, what I'm joining you all to do is be more community-based. You need to do more. You need to be involved in the community.
In the community that you live in?
Yes, exactly. Having said that, what we decided to do was, since we didn't have a vision of our own, we linked up with people who already had a vision.
Absolutely.
So when they had a vision going, we joined a little money together, and we would, the way the Lord showed us to do it, we joined a little bit of money together, and we would bless ministries with an offering who were doing ministry work in the community. So,
unity in the community type of thing.
What's that?
Unity in the community
Absolutely.
type of thing. Very
Absolutely.
Good. Yes.
So Greg was the third ministry.
Well, that would be Greg Jackson?
Greg Jackson, Pastor Greg.
Very good, very good.
He's a man of God who has been doing inner city missions for a long time.
Yes.
And having said that, when I met Greg through community mission work, and we weren't connected at the time. This was maybe 4 years ago. 4 years ago, we weren't connected at the time, but God placed his ministry on our hearts to bless with an offering. So when we blessed his ministry with an offering, God was placing a discipleship group ministry on his heart at the same time. And that's how City Takers Southwest Florida formed.
Very good. What is City
Yeah,
Takers?
so if I come to City Takers, I come knocking on your door, what am I
do we
looking
have
for?
to expect?
What do I get?
Yeah,
Okay.
what do we get?
So
We get a pen?
City Takers Southwest Florida, number one, God has given us a mission to service the poor and the marginalized.
Yeah.
So we're a food pantry. We provide Pampers for the community. We're connected with Healthy Start. But more importantly, we evangelize. So when you come through our doors, we ask the most important question anybody could ever ask you. If today was your last day here on this earth, my brother, my sister, do you know where you would go? And so when you come to City Takers Southwest Florida, you're going to get resources. You're going to get help for physical needs because that's very important. But Jesus said, I am the bread of life. So the most important resource you could have is a relationship with him. So that's our main focus.
You also do a lot of things with young people.
Yes.
And tell us some about that.
Sure. Every Tuesday evening, we're connected with juvenile justice. And
Vince Smith Center, do you go there?
which one?
Vince Smith Center, which is on next to the Stars Complex on Ortez. Anyway,
No,
go
it's
ahead.
the- it's
Describe
the-
what you
not
do.
that one. No, it's the prison, the jail.
Very
Lee
good.
County, the DJJ.
Yeah,
So
okay.
yeah, we're with the DJJ. We're connected with them. That's
That's a
what we
jail
do.
where they put DJs?
Yeah, well,
I'm just checking.
Be careful.
I'm in trouble then. very
Department
much.
of Juvenile Justice.
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So with the youth, unfortunately, there's so many at-risk youth right here in our area that need the help of people of God. We believe that we have the solution to the world's issues and the world's problems. So connecting those kids, giving them hope, giving them a way out, giving them some instructions that they can live by. You know how we always say, if somebody would have told me.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
if I just would've
somebody,
known.
we want to be that somebody.
Yeah, and we all, I think, know that once you start down that juvenile justice corridor, it's very, very difficult to get out.
It is.
You get in, and they make it so hard to get out that if you have a plan to follow, it makes it much easier, because usually you get out and do the same things you always did because
Yes.
nobody told me. I
Yes.
didn't know any better.
When Joy and I first were introduced to Greg, it was when we had this little show years and years ago, and I think we were doing like a rap contest, and he came on and said, I'm going to rap, but I'm going to rap for Jesus, I believe. And we've been connected ever since. We don't talk to each other every day. We don't see each other many times, but he's in my heart. I'm in his
Yes,
heart.
yes.
Prayer can move mountains.
Yes.
Amen.
Now, also, I watch you guys because you do a lot of things that are informative yet entertaining
Yes.
as well, don't you?
We do.
Tell
Yeah,
us
like
about.
what?
Yeah.
So part of every year we have a concert called the Taking the City Bash, where we bring in not only local artists, but artists from Christian hip hop artists that are nationally known.
National. Yeah.
And those artists come to a location here in the area. We provide a big urban concert for them.
Nice.
Kids love music, so we can't let the devil have everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many people shy away from things that are a part of the community because it's not their thing.
Right.
And we recognize that some things may not be your thing, but when it comes to the youth and when it comes to the community, that's what they're into.
Absolutely.
They love hip hop. They love rap music.
Absolutely.
So we bring in, but we just bring in a a part of that is...
And a positive message.
There you go.
Yeah.
So men and women like Doughboy and his beautiful wife who are connected to the artistry and industry, that's who we aim to bring in and who help inspire the youth.
Where do you hold this event at?
Different locations.
Like
So
last time?
last year was at Victory Church in Lehigh.
Okay, all right.
A few years ago it was at New Life in Lehigh, and a year before that it was at First Assembly.
Okay.
So there's different avenues, there's different venues that we aim to target.
Yeah, and initially you said something about a church, mission, community, and what I heard was a bunch of churches
Yes.
getting together to fill a purpose, and
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
have, is there a network of churches that actually connect with each other that you say, okay, you know, when we do something, well, Mount Harmon Church is going to do this, Grace Church is going to do this part. Is that what it all comes together?
Yes. So every second, third, and fourth Saturday, we go into the community. We gather about 50 bags of groceries, and we hand out we pick a community that the Lord leads us to, and when we go to that community, we come with bags of groceries and the gospel. So what has developed over the years is churches say, hey, can we be a part of that?
yeah.
We want to be connected in the community. We recognize the Great Commission is go and preach the gospel to every creature. And then second part of that is make disciples. So we aim to do that. So when we go into the community, the churches have now connected with us and they say, hey, we want to be a part of what you're doing in the community. And that's how it all stays connected. For example, this church has a community attached to it.
Yes, it does. I'm a member of this church.
Amen.
So
having said that, God desires that this church be a missions hub, not only for the people that come here, but for the people that need it right here in our community.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
5 doors away.
In fact,
Yes.
this church feeds the homeless twice a week.
Yes.
It does diapers and donuts once a month. So, and then a number of different job fairs. And so many people have come through these doors, and this church has changed their. Well, no, I shouldn't say this church has changed their lives, because this church is just a building.
Amen.
That's right.
So God has changed their lives
Amen.
in so many different ways.
Amen.
If I were to ask you, where do you see your organization going? What would you say to that?
One of our big mission goals is to unify the church. Like, unfortunately, when you say church, many people think of my church or this church, but we are all the church.
Yeah.
And one of our biggest goals is to unify the church, to make for God's mission to win souls and make disciples.
Yeah,
because there's
where 2 or more are gathered.
Yes, yes. So just like I'm a small example of my life was a little mess.
Yeah.
But I recognize that there's so many people in our communities that are hurting there. There's so many traumatic, as you were just talking with Kat earlier, there's so many traumatic issues that God is the solution to.
And there's so many different types of recovery. We are called Rated R for recovery, and a lot of us, because Joy and I's experience is recovery from drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
But as you heard Kat talk, as you heard your life was a mess.
Yeah.
So God has recovered you from that seemingly hopeless state of mind and body to a new creation.
Yes.
And even when I came into recovery, my sponsor said, God is the answer. Now, what was your question?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And for those of you that don't know, we are proponents. Have experience in 12-step recovery, and a lot of people don't realize that the 12 steps. What's the purpose of the 12 steps? Well, it's to show each other what may be done to elicit up a power greater than ourselves, and then rely all we do on that power.
The purpose of the 12 steps is the 12th step.
Yeah.
Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message. And what is the message? I had a spiritual, awakening as the result of these steps. Thanks.
Very good. Derek, before we let you go, would you please tell the viewers at home and people in the audience that don't know how to contact City Takers?
Yes, citytakerssouthwestflorida.com.
And
So
that's
citytakersswfl.com. That's our main.
Okay. And you have a
point of
phone number
contact.
too?
You'll find that on the website.
Will you answer the phone if I call?
Well, no. It's an
Just
email.
checking.
It's an email.
Okay.
So we don't have a
want your
ministry
email,
phone
dude.
number yet, but we have an email that you can contact.
All right. Very good. Give Derek a nice round of applause, everybody. One of the rappers that Derek had mentioned was a guy that builds pool tables and moves pool tables. His name is Doughboy. He's a dear friend of the show. He and his wife, Jana, are next here on Rated R for Recovery and ratedrforrecovery.com. We'll be right back.
Struggling with life's challenges? The Next Step. We're here to guide you to a brighter tomorrow. Whether it's counseling, recovery support, or simply finding hope, we provide the tools and community to help you rise. Take the first step toward healing today. Visit thenextstep.org and discover how we can support your journey to wellness. Remember, every step forward is a step toward a better you. The Next Step, your path to hope, starts here. With offices in Fort Myers and Naples, 844-639-8371.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, attorney at law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, attorney at law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254.
Not everyone has the luck of the Irish. If a friend or family member is in trouble, call Shamrock Bail Bonds. Put our number into your phone, 239-332-2245, 239-332-2245, or go online at gobailmeout.com. Shamrock Bail Bonds provides fast, reliable service. Shamrock Bail Bonds, 1528 Broadway, downtown Fort Myers. Look for the Shamrock, and maybe luck will be on your side.
Hello, I'm Michael Manzi, owner of JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673. When starting this company 3 years ago, I had no clue that we would grow to what we have become. There is one thing I can say that we have done from the beginning is take pride in our work, making sure every customer we do work for is satisfied from beginning to end. Offering residential painting all the way to commercial painting with jobs done in a timely manner, with highly skilled professionals giving you top-of-the-line work. To help you create your new look, call JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673.
Struggling with addiction? You're not alone. At Phoenix House Project, we believe in second chances and brighter tomorrows. Our proven programs offer support, hope, and tools to rebuild your life. With expert care and a community that understands, transformation starts here. It's time to rise, reclaim your life, and become the best version of yourself. Visit phoenixhouseproject.squarespace.com today or call 239-244-7876. The journey to recovery begins with sober living. Phoenix House Project, where hope takes flight.
Kimmy's Recovery Zone, where hope meets action. We're here to guide the journey from treatment to thriving, healthy living. With peer support, public education, and vital resources like housing, employment, and Narcan training, we're building stronger communities. Ready to make an impact? Together, we're creating a network of recovery, resilience, and renewed lives. Kimmy's Recovery Zone, your hub for healing and hope. Visit us online today at kimmysrecoveryzone.org. It's not how we survive, it's how we thrive.
Join us for connection, encouragement, and real transformation. At Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church, we celebrate God's healing power through the 12 steps of recovery and the life-changing principles found in the Beatitudes. Whether you're overcoming a hurt, habit, or hang-up, Celebrate Recovery offers a safe and supportive community where you can grow, heal, and thrive. Add to your recovery because you're not alone, and healing is possible. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at one of the 3 Grace Church locations. Learn more at egracechurch.com/recovery.
When children have to play inside so they don't disappear.
Welcome back to Rated R for Recovery.
Just like rap.
Once again, Rated R for Recovery, ratedrforrecovery.com. Welcome back, everybody. We do this show every Thursday night from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We do it in front of a studio audience, so come be part of our studio audience at 2415 Grand Avenue, or watch us on the YouTube, Joy.
All right.
Simply do that. This portion of the show brought to you by Shamrock Bail Bonds. Now, those of us that have ever needed a bail bondsman before, Shamrock Bail Bonds, located on Broadway, is the place to go. His name is Brendan O'Neill. You can reach him at 239-332 2245.
And you can learn about it by watching one of our past shows because we had him on the show.
Absolutely. Same with Brian Edwards. Same with same with Kimmy's Recovery Zone. Big proponents or big supporters of Rated R for Recovery. So, please welcome our next guest. This is David and his wife Johanna.
Hey.
Do I say that right, Johanna?
That's okay. You did good.
Jana?
It's just like your name.
John?
Just with an A.
My name's John.
My name's Jonna.
Oh, Jonna.
She was going to be a John.
She was.
She's supposed to be a boy.
All right. All right.
Thank God she wasn't. This would be really weird. You know what I'm talking about?
More importantly, they have an organization or a podcast called Relentless Hope. Would you tell us about it?
Relentless Hope, well, it's us. You know, we do some music stuff too, but Relentless Hope is basically a podcast that we do where we touch on marriage, relationships. We touch on recovery. We touch on real life. You know, Derek kind of said it, you know, sometimes people get saved and you think everything's feathered hair and flip-flops.
And it's not.
But a lot of times that's when the work starts because
Amen.
now you're getting all the mess out and you got to change your mindset. You got to renew your mind and your heart and start working. So Relentless Hope is just, if you want to tune in for a basic Christian podcast, we're not the people. But if you want to tune in for some real people that Jesus totally wrecked and hear some real life redeemed outlaw stories, then Relentless Hope podcast
Kinda like
the place
us.
for you. Well, it is.
It's kind of like us.
And just let me give you some props, John, while we're on here.
You
Not to
don't
hijack nothing, but me and you, I was thinking when we were coming here how long we went back. We go back to like 2011, something like that, 2011, 12.
Okay.
Now, both of us have been through some stuff.
We have.
You were doing good, and I did bad. You did bad, and I was doing good.
Yeah.
And we've seen each other through the city different times when one was doing bad or the other one was doing good.
Yes.
One thing me and you have in common, you know what it is? We're both transparent and as real as it gets.
Well, I try to be.
And
always,
and that
but
is why you're still on this journey and you're doing good. And I'm proud of you.
Thank
man.
you very much.
I'm
That's
proud
right.
of you that we're both here and not
Amen.
in jail or dead. Where both of us could
Were
have
we
been.
locked up together?
No,
All
I think
right.
we might have missed
All right.
each other.
Okay.
I called Shamrocks a little quicker.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Yeah, now you're both doing good at the same time.
Hey,
and
well, we
that's
were doing good
amazing.
sometimes at the same time.
And I got to tell you that John is more transparent now. I learned a lot that last time, and I can really see that the change in you.
Yeah.
You have changed.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
I
proud
put
of
a
you.
lot. I put a lot of people through a lot of crap.
Yeah, so did I, brother.
So what we do is, you know, you just said it a minute ago. So there's a saying in 12-step recovery: I don't have a drinking problem, I have a thinking problem. And then, and according to the book of Romans, do not be conformed to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Am I right?
Renewing
Is that
of
the
your
book of
mind.
Romans?
That's right.
Something like that. Okay.
That's right. The book
So it's all about here. If you can't see me at home, I'm pointing to the inside of my head.
right.
I want a head that I got a brain that wants me dead.
Yep.
And the worst place that you could be in is to be in a world of mess and think you're going to think your way out of it on your own because you don't trust anybody.
It all starts with the 6-inch piece of real estate between your ears.
Yep.
You know what I
Amen
mean?
to that.
It's all about the story you tell yourself. This is the way it goes.
Tell us a little bit more about Relentless Hope.
Well, Relentless Hope, man, you know, going back, I reminisce, man. I got a good memory, which is good in a lot of ways and not.
Yeah.
And I was with Greg, which we're here again together. We were together at the juvenile place, which was awesome on Tuesday. But me and Greg go back. Greg was the first person to ever, you know, I moved to Florida, whatever, years ago. It's been 20 years ago. I didn't know nobody. I was trying to stay clean. I was trying to get involved. And sometimes Christian people ain't always nice. I'm just being real. But they don't want to get you in. But Greg was
Right.
the first dude, and he was young and was like, hey, man, what are you doing? And, you know, we kind of hooked up. And then I hooked up with you guys. But going back through all that, Relentless Hope started back then. And it's been, you know, it all starts with a little hope. Sometimes you got to be relentless with it, you
Right.
know. And,
Every day.
And it was up, down. John and I got married, jumped in a relationship, both of us out of relationships, getting clean. You know, everybody at the church is going, you're going to be a power couple. You're going to be a power couple. And we're trying to be a power couple, but then things start happening. You don't want to tell nobody at church, or you do.
Yeah.
I told somebody, hey, bro, we're having some serious problems here. And they're like, just pray about it. You're going to be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, no, me and Jesus about to get drunk, bro. Like, and then violence, you know, everything Kat talking about. We had a lot of stuff went on, you know, and we always say from felony stops to God back on top, you know, and a lot of people counted us out. And if you would have told me 10 years ago 7 years ago, 15 years ago, we would be the marriage people that hook up with XO Marriage and travel and help people's marriages. We had divorce papers filed, and somebody said, you guys are going to help change marriages someday. And I said, I hate her and she hates me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know, love is-
But God knows, you know what I mean? And
Love and hate.
So relentless hope is all of it, man. Anything in life that changes always starts with a little bit of hope.
Jonna, what's your take on all this?
Oh, wow. Yeah, thank you guys for having us. Can you hear me, guys? But yeah, I remember when we came here years ago, and I just thought you guys were awesome. You know, so I'm super happy that you guys are still doing this. Can you guys hear me?
Do this.
No? Okay. Thanks, Joy.
Use both of them. Who cares?
Give me both of them.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
But yeah, it's been quite the ride, man. I never thought that David and I would be, you know, rapping together. I mean, it just started because I knew his words and he needed a hype person, and I can get hype. And that's how it happened. And then, yeah, hype, you know.
Hype, not high.
Energy.
Joy.
Energy.
Not high.
She's done both.
Hype. All right. We got a
Right.
little bit of feedback coming through the microphones there.
I like that better.
Okay, but
All right. So you
Now it's worse.
all right. So you started. You've always been involved with writing music. Yes. Jonna, when did you start?
I think, what was it, 2016?
16.
Yeah.
Do you co-write with him?
Yes.
She is now.
Yes.
She just wrote her first
yeah.
song.
He's the real talent, but yeah.
That's
I
okay.
get to get in there too.
Yeah. So what now? There's a song that we have on our board ready to play a snippet. It's called Hope Life. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm going to be honest about that. And I took a lot of shots from a lot of Christian people on that, and rightfully so. But our daughter, who's in a Christian-based program, doing good now, but our whole life is against drug addiction. We travel, we speak, we like to see marriages get saved from being divorced and drug addiction. So when your 27-year-old kid's dying 3 days a day on fentanyl,
yeah.
it's easy for you to sit back and go, how could you say that? If it's not their kid, they don't understand. So I wrote this song and had to bleep it out because I said a bad word at the beginning of it. Because I was so mad at fentanyl. I was like, blink fentanyl, you know what I mean? And I was mad at the devil. So this song's called Hope Life, but really it's like our whole life is against drug addiction and just giving people hope to get off of it. And
So can we hear about 30 seconds of it?
Yeah,
Would that
go
be
ahead.
okay? Sharon, can you play like 30 seconds or a minute of Hope Life for
But I
us?
did beep out the bad words and took it out, guys. God convicted me.
Mute our microphones while it's playing.
And climbed the mountains that I've climbed and experienced everything that I've been able to experience, I've been able to give an unquantifiable amount of people hope.
We about to shake it up like you ain't ever seen. Hope life, hope fiend, new team, new dreams. Looking so clean, if you know what I mean. Change the world, I'm a plot and scheme.
Fentanyl, that's what I'm screaming. Fighting addiction till the day I stop breathing. Ain't worried about plaques, stacking rags. Worried about the addicts and getting them back. Come on. Hope life, baby. Hope life, baby. Hope life, baby.
All right, so that song's called Hope Life. What? Go back again. You said something about your daughter, and what happened?
Yeah, she grew up seeing things she shouldn't. Kids watch.
How old is she? I'm sorry.
27.
27.
She just turned 28, yeah.
What did you guys have her when you were 10?
Well, buddy, no, I'm 51 and I look good. No, I just play. I got kids from 34 to 13, and everywhere in between.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but
jealous.
Yeah, she was hooked on fentanyl, and nobody's untouchable, you know. And
Yes.
we battled with it, and we put her in different programs, and then she would fall back away, and she's in a program now for a year long. She's doing good. We're proud of her. And I'm not easy on her, bro. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I show her love, but sometimes I'm like, hey, you want me to get a cemetery plot? I'll go ahead and get one. I don't like surprises. I'm not coming to bring you money, but I'll go ahead and purchase a cemetery plot. And you know, then you got to deal with the whole stuff. You fake. You guys are supposed to help people, and you know, we've been through all of the addict behavior, and I'm the wrong person to do that. You know, if you'd have told me.
And every addict needs to hear it all.
Yeah.
They need to hear the, you know, the truth from everyone. And when you're feeling that way,
Yeah.
they need to hear that too.
And so the song sounds like it's really peppy, but it was wrote at a bad time. But you know, I always like to say I'm like a quarter of a rapper, so I just have to make songs that can get the crowd going, then they
Yeah.
pay attention.
Due to, I think we're having some technical difficulties, so you'll be performing the songs live, and we're going to say this up front. I want you to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, please.
We could have a monthly segment on marriage.
Oh,
They
well,
could do
yeah.
it.
Why not?
You know,
I know.
Yeah.
Hearing Kat talk earlier, I think she left, but you know, we're big on it. We've been through domestic violence on both places. I've been arrested for it. You know, John has hit me in the head, and we've done all of it, and it's never right for anybody to touch anybody. But sometimes, you know, marriage works 100% of the time if you do it God's way.
Yeah.
Okay. And,
My husband and I can play.
and it was
We
designed
play that
God's
game.
way, and it's found on four laws, and it's priority, purity, possession, and partnership.
Okay.
If you keep those in, they're good. But anyway.
Do you believe that the couple that prays together stays together?
I tell you what, if your husband's not praying over his wife and the wife's not praying over her husband, they start the day off wrong.
Okay, so we have another song in the lieu of running. I think we have a few minutes left. What's the second song called?
This one's called Down There. We just released a music video for this. It kind of blew up a little bit.
All right, and so real quickly, Relentless Hope, relentlesshope.com, is it?
At relentlesshopemusic.com, at Relentless Hope
And-
YouTube, at Relentless Hope Music anywhere.
And the way I see them is on the Facebook.
And then down there, where can I find it on
Down
YouTube?
there's on YouTube. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
just hit like 100,000 views or something. But
Really?
Well, let's get you some
See,
more.
we need their social media person.
It's my son.
We need to start doing songs.
Yeah.
Ready?
I asked him, he said no, he's too busy. Anyway, so would you run a little bit of the second song for us?
They doing down there now? Well, they always up to something, them two. What's them yahoos doing? What y'all got going on down there? Everybody asking what they doing down there. What they doing down there. What they doing down there. Everybody asking what they gon' do now. What they gon' do now. What they gon' do now. Everybody asking what they doing down there. What they doing down there. What they doing down there. Everybody asking what they doing down there. We just trying to make a difference with the bass and the snare. And you can call me Bon Jovi cause we're living on a prayer. We get everybody asking what we doing down here. Down here in the swamps, in the woods.
Hey.
You can call me Bon Jovi because I'm living on a prayer.
Yeah, you got to be old school to know that.
Love that.
But I danced in my 8th grade dance to Living on a Prayer.
Yeah, did you really? I was like 50 doing
dance,
Bon Jovi. Anyway, so give these two lovely people.
Yeah.
This is David, aka Doughboy, and Jonna. They are Relentless Hope.
Yep.
Give them a big round of applause. Next week we got another great show for you.
Yeah,
I
we
think.
do.
It's not really scheduled.
I don't know
yet.
what it is,
It's all
but-
messed up, but we'll.
And somebody will be here.
Somebody will be here. We invite. First of all, I want to thank everybody that's sitting in our studio audience for coming. It means the world to
Sharon,
us.
thank you.
If those of you listening at home on YouTube, thank you very much. Tell your friends, come on back. We need support, and we
Yeah.
need a social media person.
Go on there and tell them, go like,
Yeah.
Like it.
subscribe to Rated R
Yes.
Recovery.
Like.
Follow, share
Yes.
it.
And if
Yes.
you want to be on the
Don't
show,
cost you nothing.
I guess you got to get a hold of me.
Yes. So anyway, thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Next week we got another great show for you. You've been listening to Rated R for Recovery and ratedrforrecovery.com.
Hey, man. I was going to tell you, would you ever think that I would do a song that when they do drug rage, they play over their body cam?
Me too. Me too.